The UK does not need a wealth tax. The UK firstly needs to sort out the flaws of its existing wealth taxes.
Why are all these millionaires running away?
Well, it's not because they're taxing their wealth, because we don't have any wealth taxes.
Stamp duty, capital gains tax and inheritance tax are all wealth taxes and they all have some major flaws. Stamp duty, firstly, is a wealth tax. Some people say it's a transactional tax. No, look up wealth tax. It's a tax on an asset and it is a tax based on the value of an asset. Stamp duty is a wealth tax. I set up a junior ISA for my 8-year-old niece. When it was worth £1,050, I bought a FTSE 250 listed share. We had to pay 0.5% stamp duty on that. Why on earth is a child with a net worth of £1,050 paying 0.5% wealth tax? It's nonsense. So we need to scrap stamp duty on FTSE 250 listed shares. Capital gains tax has a huge flaw because it's not index linked. Because of that, it means frequently you are not just being taxed on the gains you've made on an investment. Let's take an example. You bought a second home worth £200,000 and then 5 years later you sold it for £300,000. Now, inflation in that period was 25% in total, and so actually to get the same value and have the same purchasing power, you would need to sell it and get £250,000. However, you are charged capital gains tax on the entire £100,000 nominal gain. Therefore, because it's not index linked, you are also taxed on your original investment in real terms. So, capital gains tax for the sale of secondary properties needs to be index linked. Inheritance tax. Inheritance tax is of course usually burdened on the middle class rather than the very wealthy. And the inheritance tax band has been frozen since 2009. So first of all, if you actually want to tax the rich, the inheritance tax threshold needs to be increased hugely. I suggest to £10 million. So, talking about introducing a wealth tax, people are just totally ignoring that wealth is already taxed and there are some progressive wealth taxes like stamp duty. Before you even look at implementing a wealth tax, we should sort out the flaws of the existing wealth taxes.